Powerback time on the Gutsy podcast. Each week we bring you 5 minutes of condensed inspiration to reclaim the courage and momentum you've given away. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. One of the hardest parts, in my opinion, of starting a business is the temporary sacrifice that you have to make for some things that you really love doing or buying. Especially when you're first starting out or you're in those first few years, a lot of your time, money, and energy needs to be forward moving towards the business and recycle back through the business. And a lot of times that means nixing things that you really enjoy doing. And in the same respect, sometimes we're working towards a life goal. Maybe there's a vacation that we want to go on or a house that we want to buy. And so we have these really big goals, but we also have these other things that we just really love to spend our money on. So for this week's Power Back, I want you to take your power back by giving up something to get something. So when we're thinking about money, we often invest in things that are important to us, okay? But on the flip side of that, we tend to also buy things that make us feel good in the moment and then find every excuse in the book to tell everyone why you can't do something else. For instance, if you tell me or someone else that you can't afford to go on vacation, you can't afford to go away for the weekend, those are too lavish things, you can't financially do those things. But you're eating out every night of the week, which also means that you're not packing lunch, so you're probably eating out at lunch every week. I'm going to guess that you're throwing away a couple $100 to $1,000 every month just by eating out. Yeah, it may be fun and exciting, and I think that everyone should enjoy the pleasure of not cleaning dishes from time to time, right? Like, go out and enjoy yourselves. There's a social aspect to it. But it's slippery when it becomes a habit and then you start doing it every day. And then you're wondering, well, what's going on with my bank account? Now I don't have any money, but I'm still going to go out. Then you start flipping the tables and that's an opportunity to step back and say, you know what? This is where my money's going. And get real with yourself. The reason I can't go on vacation is because I'm not willing to give up going out to eat. And for you, it could be something else. It could be shopping. It could be buying your favorite latte on the way to work every day. Maybe it's a whole bunch of subscriptions that you don't use, but you continue to pay for them. Maybe it's buying movies on your cable channel every day, and then when you get your cable bill, you realize that you've spent $80 a month on movies. And here's a really relevant one. Breweries and wineries. Okay, so breweries and wineries are a huge social thing right now. And AJ and I love going and hanging out to them, but we also have to be consciously aware because we could honestly go to one every weekend and be okay with it, but we have to really watch our spending with that because it's very easy to allow ourselves to just spend money like it's free. So I want you to think about your goals. What are some things that you're trying to achieve? Maybe it is travel. Maybe you want to get new software or programs for your business. Maybe there's a big conference that is on your radar that you'd love to go to, but it's a couple $100. What is it that you need in your business or in your life to level yourself up, to invest in yourself, to spend some time to take care of yourself? Hell, maybe you just need a massage and it's $100 and you're wondering where that $100 is going to come from. Then I really want you to look at some of your other spending habits. Where is money just kind of sifting through the cracks? Again, is it running through the drive-thru or just grabbing things in the aisles as you're checking out? And then you can start marrying the two. If you looked at like your last month's statement, for instance, if you went through that and categorized how much money did I spend on eating out? How much money did I spend on shopping? How much money did I spend on coffee? And you really get honest with yourself and calculate and add up those numbers, you would be absolutely blown away by the total of what you're spending every month. I would bet you've got $500, $600, $700 worth of money that is just going to things that are not adding to your life. Things that are, you could be using this money towards something else, but because you're not tracking it or paying attention to it, it's just going away. And maybe that conference that you want to go to is $500 and that seems steep, but then you realize that last month you spent $500 on dining out. I mean, let's get real, okay? Here's the important thing too, guys. This is temporary. This doesn't have to be forever. You don't have to give up dining out or doing any of these other amazing things that you love to do, maybe you're just pulling back and not doing it as often. Maybe you put a pause button on it for a while and you say, you know what, right now something else is more important. And when I put all of my resources towards achieving that, then I can go back to doing some of those other things. I don't want you to feel like this is a punishment to you, but I want you to know that to achieve things, most of the time you do have the means, the access, or the ability to save up for some of the things that you want to invest in. You've just given that money away to something else. Join me next week on the Gutsy Podcast with our guest, Jelena from the Confetti Project. And guys, it is as fun as that sounds. Jelena is going to talk to us about celebration therapy. I had the most amazing experience going to Brooklyn in her studio and having her douse me with like the most ridiculous amount of confetti. And it was one of the most liberating things I've ever done in my life. She's going to talk about how she uses that method as a way to help heal the minds and hearts of people. Until then, follow the Gutsy Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And for more Gutsy insight, follow me personally on Instagram @thatlauraora. See you next time.